Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.
Welcome to all.
History is made of stories.
Let's all be kind. Actually, it's not quite so simple. Kindness requires sincerity.
Don't you love those empty, "Hi, how are yous?" that need no reply, especially when they're followed by a hopelessly long to-do list? Some people have definitely forgotten their manners.
Quite a few people like to blame it on the digital age, but they're forgetting that tools are no responsible for what we do with them. What's really lacking is common courtesy, and more than that, respect. Respect is the real benevolence, kindness, and the importance of sincerity. What's the story?
Hatred has never been destroyed by hatred, but by loving kindness. As the Buddha said,
Loving kindness is defined in English dictionaries as a feeling of benevolent affection. But in Buddhism, loving kindness is thought of as a mental state or attitude that must be cultivated and maintained through practice.
but what does this Buddhist concept have to do with the world of business? Well, common courtesy is a form of loving kindness. Sincere courtesy is a mark of consideration and respect for others.
Please and thank you. No need to delve into Buddhist philosophy for that.
To understand it, maybe not, but to actually apply it, well, let's just say that's a whole other story. How many bosses are criticized as soon as their backs are turned because they didn't even bother to say hello before delivering orders?
Courtesy, the most basic form of loving kindness, I would say, constitutes the foundation for interpersonal relationships in society and within companies.
It is absolutely necessary for building healthy relationships built on trust and mutual respect. When kindness is sincere, it has only positive impacts.
19th century young adult novelist the Countess of Segur wrote that, "Modest and gentle kindness is a virtue that earns more friends than wealth and more consideration than power." Today's managers and decision makers need that consideration, and kindness can help get it for them. Decision makers have nothing to lose from displaying kindness.
Our daily lives are dotted with behaviors and actions that convey the company culture. Sometimes, they're sincere, disinterested, authentic behaviors. Other times, a kind exterior can be a facade that thinly veils condescendence and contempt. Sometimes kindness is really just a masquerade or self-serving politics.
The form of kindness we're promoting is, of course, the sincere kind. The way we treat others, whether they're clients, suppliers, employees, or job candidates, says a lot about a company. If kindness becomes nothing but a series of systematic but empty rituals that are as self-interested as they are phony, if it's not rooted in a corporate culture based on respect, then it's worthless.
Actually, it's worse. It's destructive. Kindness is a kind of gift, and as Marcel Mauss explains, giving isn't about altruism, it's a theory of social exchange. Gift giving requires reciprocating. And that's a good thing here. Because then, by being courteous, I'm inviting others to be courteous as well. But the risk is that the gift can also be instrumentalized.
Pity, which is falsely sympathetic and truly disdainful, is not kindness at all, because it places the receiver below the giver. Kindness is only kindness if you consider the other as they are, in other words, as an equal.
But kindness that never contradicts others and botarizes everything to avoid hurting anyone's feelings can also be destructive.
Exactly, you have to be consistent and fair. Giving a bonus to someone who doesn't deserve it, to avoid hurting their feelings, isn't kind, it's indulgent. And it destroys the meaning of the act. This loss of meaning stands alongside the feelings of injustice and powerlessness as a major cause of unhappiness in the workplace.
Phony kindness used to filter a reality we're trying to deny undermines the establishment of healthy interpersonal relationships. It worsens unhappiness. People aren't stupid. They know the reality. They're living it. There's no point telling them fairy tales and other stories.
To recap, kindness and common courtesy are proof of our respect for others. They help to build a healthy interpersonal climate within a company, but there can be a dark side to kindness. If it's just a facade, if it's not underpinned by justice and respect, then kindness can actually harm interpersonal relationships. Is that right?
Exactly right. Way to make a long story short. Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.